Let's head for an impromptu shopping trip at Bicester. I'm wearing a Jack Faux fur, ASOS t-shirt, ASOS jeans, Alexander McQueen trainers, and then a Mulberry Heritage Bayswater. Oh, and a Longchamp belt with a Lacoste cap. Bicester is just outside of Oxford, for those who don't know. It's a beautiful shopping destination, indoor, outdoor, and they had all of the festive decorations up, which was fabulous. Always like to go from the top to the bottom so you end up nearer the car. So we always start at Ralph Lauren. They had these great accessories, great candles, homewares, beautiful little pieces that could be great as gifts or could be great for your own home. Into the bag section, thought these top handles were very sweet, quite reminiscent of Aspinall for me, but I liked them very much. And you'd be looking at about £250 for one of these. They had some lovely festive pieces. You can definitely tell that that's where the season's going. And some great heels that were of a sensible height as well. So could be nice for a party, could be nice for work, could be nice for just day to day. Also with some lovely knitwear, and really enjoyed the plaid in this particular tote. I like this tote style. I think it's chic, and I like the colours that they've chosen for the plaid. Very classic and very chic. If you're looking at something like an Hermes Evelyn but don't want to pay the price, here is a great bag for you. And the top handle style in the plaid as well, if maybe a tote isn't for you. A great variety of shoe options, and you have a mixture of brands when it comes to Ralph Lauren, because you have Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren, and then you have Ralph Lauren, and also Purple Label. So there are a variety of styles and a variety of price points for you to be looking at. Lots of bags, lots of shoes, lots of colour options. Ralph Lauren is one of the biggest stores at Bicester, so you have so much variety. I adored this outfit. I thought it was gorgeous, and that mini Ricky was just stunning. This is a Purple Label outfit, and it's absolutely stunning. They had some great knitwear, some great over pieces, absolutely fabulous, but the price point of Purple Label is significant. This sort of chainmail dress was absolutely gorgeous and only £2,420. I did feel it, and I thought it would be so uncomfortable to sit in, but we do a lot for fashion, don't we? Great jacket here. Love this jacket. I think it's fabulous. And actually, I didn't think the price point was horrendous. £1,416. They had a variety of polos from the Polo collection. Different colours had a different price point. This was one of the least expensive, and then there were some that were more sort of £80. But quite a lot of nice little pieces, accessories, kind of more trinkety style pieces, lots and lots of clothing. But as I've said, the price point for Ralph Lauren I find can vary significantly. So you have to sometimes really love the piece. And I remember 10 years ago spending a lot less on some of the Ralph Lauren items. Also loved this outfit. I thought this was so chic, and loved the way they integrated that necklace. And these crossbody bags, super cute. I really like the blue suede. Knitwear is something that Ralph Lauren is very well known for. They had a great variety of colours. Not inexpensive by any means, but certainly a classic within the Ralph Lauren range and the Polo Ralph Lauren range. Always worth having a look. Sassy little sequin jacket. Hard to style, but fun. Acne Studios, and I absolutely love these green bags. I think the green is gorgeous. The sort of distressed nature of the leather, really fabulous. Acne is one of those brands that I think is so cool, but I know myself, I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm probably not cool enough to wear it. Considering these are red, I really loved these heels, but the interior had this block on them that I could not imagine how uncomfortable that would be to try and get your foot into, but they were incredibly sexy, and if you can wear them, good for you. Acne are very well known for their scarves, and they had some great pieces here, lots of different colours. Would set you back about £180 for one of the scarves, dependent on the style. A variety of bags. It's not, the shelves aren't and the hangers aren't too densely populated. I absolutely love this clutch as well. They had some really nice pieces, and the store has a really nice flow because they haven't tried to put too many pieces into one space, which is nice. It just gives you a little bit more flex. Then here we have Kenzo. I always like to have a little look in Kenzo. I really like the cardigan. Used to be a big cardigan fan, but haven't worn one in a very long time, actually. These shoes were peculiar. And if I was going to go for another Kenzo clutch pouch style piece, this is the sort of thing I would go for. Then they had a pre-loved section called the Village Attic, and this was supporting a women's charity, and it was absolutely fabulous. Some of the pieces, they had gorgeous shoes, bags, etc. So these Prada shoes for £120, the Charlotte Olympia platforms in this gorgeous blue velvet, stunning. Unfortunately, nothing even close to my size. And I would have squeezed my foot into those Charlotte Olympias if they were close enough to my size, but there wasn't anything. But they had some stunning pieces, some great jewelry, great clothing, great shoes, and it was all for a great cause. These were these fabulous Burberry boots, loved these as well. So hey, if you can shop for an amazing cause, why not? They had some fabulous pieces and it was beautifully curated. Fortnum & Mason is a new addition to the Bicester store lineup, and they had some beautiful pieces, particularly coming into the festive season. If you're looking for gifts or you want something special to put on the table or share with guests, if you're having guests over the festive season, then absolutely take a look. People very, very famous for the Fortnum & Mason's hampers, and people like to keep their hamper as a decorative item. £150 I didn't think was unreasonable. Also a very special advent calendar, variety of price points, and I absolutely adore the Fortnum's packaging. I think that's something that makes it all feel very, very special. They had such a variety of items, well worth looking at. And I really don't feel that the price point was too unreasonable. Would you do your daily shop there? Well, maybe some people would. I personally would not and could not. However, for special occasions, definitely worth picking up some of these items and just having something that can add a little bit of flair. They had this great little outdoor cafe as well. Didn't stop there, but thought it was really cute and nice to see and nicely sheltered from the rain. Didn't go into Mont Blanc, but loved this yellow carry-all, so wanted to share that with you. But did go into Manolo, and they have, of course, the Icons range that you see at Bicester, which are the full-price current collections. Hangisis for £1,035 in that very classic Sex and the City blue. They also had some great shoes. I loved these slip-on loafers. I thought the colour was stunning. These were in a size that I could wear, but I much preferred these particular slip-ons, but they only had them in a 6 or a 12 and I needed a 9. So unfortunately, they weren't meant for me, but the price point was really good. And had they have been in my size, I would have bought them. These grey loafers were also stunning. Love, love, love that colour. Thought they were super chic and not a bad price point. Lots of very beautiful Manolos. I'm not probably someone who will buy Manolos in the future. It's not so much my style or my aesthetic, saying that I did love these particular ones. However, I can appreciate how beautiful they are and the price point. If you're looking for a bridal shoe, £484 for Manolos, why not? And always nice to have a little mooch in the White Company. Again, great for gifts, great for your own home. They have the Icons collections. They had these great room sprays. My particular favourite scent is Capri, which has cucumber and watermelon in it, which I absolutely love and adore. You can get it in candles, you can get it in room sprays. So lots of variation. The grapefruit is lovely as well, and so is the pomegranate. Some really nice pieces. Plus, I actually thought the towel sets were quite good value. They were about £48.50 for one of the towel stacks. I really didn't think that was bad. £68 normally, £48. Look how gorgeous. They even had a sort of synthetic snow machines. How stunning. We went into Prada. They had this great, I think this is called the Clio bag. Loved the yellow, was very attracted to that particular colour. £1,230, so about half price, which is really, really good. Then I really liked this flat bag. Thought the colour was lovely, that sort of antique pink. Some card holders, lanyard holders, key holders, nice little accessories, good price point, Saffiano leather, very durable, always worth looking at. They did have some nice accessories, and the price points in Prada can be really good. They had a couple of the bag charms, which were very cute. This one was about £300, if I'm not mistaken, down from £550, give or take. They had other accessories, wallets, etc., more bag charms. The clothes are always very interesting, quite architectural and sculptural. These trousers, again, very, very interesting, because who doesn't need lime green, somewhat see-through trousers with feathers at the bottom of them for £1,000? This green re-edition, I had a look at this because there was 20% off the bags, and it would have been something like £650. So it was quite tempting, but it didn't really suit me. This Miu Miu was very, very cute as well. Miu Miu do some really nice bags, and particularly I think their summer bags are really where they stand out, and these crochet were very, very sweet. I liked them very much. As I did for this flat bag, this would be great as a bit of a crossbody on holiday. Stella McCartney, one of the best collections or ranges that I've seen from Stella McCartney at the outlet in a long time. I liked them very, very much. A couple of Falabellas that I really liked. Still debate the Falabella style, but I couldn't do the fold toe. I would have to do the sort of longer shoulder. These boots were great, 180 something pounds. Really, really liked them, but certainly didn't need them and certainly wouldn't wear them, but also would have paired them really nicely with this particular tote bag. Do I need another tote in my life though? I do not. Like the mixture of studs, felt and leather on this particular piece, and £285. It's a classic shape from Stella McCartney, so definitely worth having a look. Not my faves though. Bottega had a nice looking Bottega. Really liked this particular tote, but living in the UK, a £2,700 suede and shearling Bottega bag probably isn't the best investment that you could make, as lovely as it is. These boots still have a bit of a chokehold on me. I really do like them. I think they're very, very cool. Maybe I will just bite the bullet one day. They had a nice range of bags, good range of colours. They had a couple of discounts on some of the pieces. As much as they kept saying that there was up to 70% off in various stores throughout the village, I wasn't seeing those discounts translate particularly well, I have to be honest. Nothing felt that inexpensive, but still, some nice pieces. This strikes me as a bit of a Bottega version of the D-Joy. Don't know what you think. And I like this with the beautiful shade of green with those pops of a more vibrant green. These particular shearling pieces had an additional 30% off, so that would have been about £1,500, if not slightly less expensive. And then the black, I thought, if that's about £1,500, that could be a really, really good price, but it wasn't. It was more expensive to start with. Into Versace. Liked the Versace collection. Versace is a brand where you can normally pick up a really, really good deal. But there wasn't anything that was particularly standout discounted from a Versace perspective, but they had nice pieces nonetheless. They had nice bags, nice shoes. Was a huge fan of this jacket. Thought it was so unbelievably chic with a pair of black cigarette style trousers. Would be absolutely fabulous. Thought it was a good price point as well at £9.80. This jacket with just a little pop of Baroque. Versace is very much about the more is more aesthetic. We know this, but I do think there's a time and a place for sometimes a slightly more subtle version of Versace. The belts were great. Into Gucci. I spent a lot of time in Gucci. Gucci is a real favourite of mine at the moment, as you know. Some great bag styles, a couple of which I actually own, which is always nice to see. This I thought was cute as a little crossbody, long shoulder, pouch, clutch. The camera bags, the classic Marmont camera bags in some of the classic colours. They had these shearling versions of the Marmont, which were about £1,600, if I'm not mistaken. I really did like them. Nice and cute, but not the most practical in the UK. You might recognise this bag because I happen to own this one, and I'm always very curious how much the pieces that we own go up for in the outlet. And this one was up for £1,375. I paid less than that, I can tell you that. I bought mine pre-loved. Really loved this particular gilet. Thought it was absolutely fabulous, but would be a little bit less wearable than one that I found slightly later. These particular trousers were great as well, so chic. Just with a black t-shirt and a pair of black trainers would be so, so cool and so, so chic. Definitely really liked the Gucci ready-to-wear. This particular suit as a full suit was about £1,000, which I think is really good value. It was in my size as well. I was tempted to try it on, but decided against it. Some great shoes. Really, really do like Gucci overall. I think they do a nice collection. Can see myself buying more and more into Gucci as time goes on. I've been quite into the jewellery and the bags, etc. recently. Pre-loved. I've been buying a lot of the bags. Happen to love, love, love this gilet. I thought it was incredible. Really, really loved it. Wanted to buy it, but it was £1,000. However, am I still considering it? Yes, because this is something I would wear so regularly, and if it lasted me 5-10 years, I actually think it could be a really good investment for my wardrobe. So I'm very, very tempted by that. Knowing my luck, by the time I decide to go for it, it will be gone. Heels, these were very, very popular, probably earlier in the year, I would say. I really liked the green. I thought they were great, but if you want them more classic, then you did have the silver and the white. £585. Not sure what they were thinking with these particular shoes, where you're wearing them, who's wearing them, but good for you if you are. And in deep, deep sale was this fur, which was very expensive to begin with, circa £13,000, but it was only £4,500 in the deep sale, so there you go. Quick look in the diesel window. I'm not cool enough to buy diesel anymore. Again, I know that about myself, but I did really like the outfits in the window, and I thought that the designs were really cool. Longchamp, the day-long bag in this beautiful peacock blue, sort of a speedy style. Lots of great accessories, beautiful colours. Love the green and love the blue. Great sunglasses, great belts. They also had these chain straps for about £42 that you could swap out if you had a more casual chain on your bag and you wanted something that was a little bit more formal, which I thought was great for that particular price point, just to make things feel a little bit more glamorous. Particularly love this green in the roseau. Thought it was absolutely gorgeous. £340 for that east-west style. I have this bag in the coral. Love the green as well. Think it's gorge. And the orange is a particular standout as well. They did some really, really nice colours. I think Longchamp do colour very, very well. Thought these were fun. Tried these on and was informed that I couldn't buy them. Not I was trying to, but was informed that I couldn't. Into Mulberry, great hobo bag style. Again, if you're looking for something like an Evelyn. They had a lot of classics, and Mulberry had some really good price points. So, although there wasn't a significant sale, you could get the classics at reduced prices, which is always nice to see. And I really want to learn how to tie a scarf on the handle of a bag, similarly to how they've done there. The mock croc in the Icons collection was beautiful. You had the chain, the Lily chain tote, which was down £300. Pretty tempting. I think it's a very beautiful bag. Really loved these sunglasses. Do not need another pair of black sunglasses in my life. However, do I think they suited me? Yes, I do, and I really, really liked them. Then you had more of a spend and save offer when it came to Mulberry. Actually, in a lot of the stores, you had a spend and save. Into Kurt Geiger, another one where you had spend and save, but lots of pieces, lots of personality pieces, bright, colourful, great for the upcoming festive season, great if you're looking for something that you're not going to wear particularly often, so you don't want to spend the world on it, but you want it to be fun and glamorous and playful. Go to Kurt Geiger. Definitely have a look. I cannot recommend them enough. They had some really, really fun pieces. I thought these boots were really, really fun. And they had these great embellished, crystal encrusted boots that were about £350 that would definitely get people talking for all the right reasons. So lots of great pieces at Kurt Geiger. I cannot recommend the brand enough. As I always say, personality pieces at great price points. Also, their shoes are pretty comfortable, so definitely worth taking a look at. And they had such a great variety. It's a big store at Bicester that they've opened, so always worth going and checking it out, especially if you like styles from other brands but just don't want to spend that amount of money on them, or you want something that feels maybe a little bit more unique or fun or playful. Kurt Geiger is the place. Because you can see here just how creative some of their designs are. They certainly aren't for the faint-hearted, but hey, if you fancy being a little bit bold, it's a fantastic brand, and they've done a lot to re-energize the collections in recent years, so it's nice to see them coming out with new pieces, new icons. Looking forward to seeing how it develops. Into Missoni, love a Missoni print. I was particularly taken by the Missoni homewares. It was pretty expensive, but I have to say the pieces were absolutely stunning. I really did love them. I loved that blue stool. That would look really great in my home. The candles, I couldn't get over how expensive they were, but beautiful nonetheless. I think Missoni is very, very chic, very bold, but very, very chic and very recognizable. This blue shirt was great. This would be great under just a navy blue suit as a little pop of personality. They managed to do subtle and elevated really nicely together, and the knitwear was beautiful as well. Beautifully made, very substantial. Always worth taking a look at Missoni, I would say, and you don't see a lot of people wearing it. Into Louboutin. I love, love, love Louboutin. I know I always say I can't buy anymore, but but I just love it as an aesthetic. The shoes just are so my aesthetic. Loved the orange. Those were gorgeous. The only challenge with those orange ones was that they were already slightly marked, so that didn't bode well for them. You had the icons, so you had the Kate 100s, you had the New Very Privés. This was a beautiful Paloma toe, absolutely stunning. And the trainers were fabulous. The men's trainers, absolutely fabulous. Loved these. Thought that they were an okay-ish price point considering they were £1,000, brand new, about 40% off. These denim thought were great, but they would be ruined so quickly. And these were stunning. If I had £500 that I wanted to spend on trainers, these would have been coming home with me because they were so cool. I would struggle to style them, but they were absolutely fabulous. And if you're looking for a shoe for an event, again, go and take a look because the Louboutin loafers are fabulous and they are pretty good price point when they are discounted and when they are at the outlet. They had some really beautiful prints. It's not a huge store, but nice to have a look at. Fendi had some nice pieces as well. Fendi is a brand that I like, but I'm not in love with. I never feel inclined to buy from, but I always like to have a look, and I know how much my friends love Fendi, so I'm always curious to see if there's ever a piece that would take my fancy. That pet carrier, I thought super cute for Pops. She would ruin it within a second though. And also doesn't like going anywhere. So it would be a waste of money for me and for her. But anyway, would have been cute. Jewellery, they had some nice jewellery, some nice bag styles. I particularly like the pouch that has the strap with it, which was a mixture of the Fendi Zucca and the caramel leather. These slip-ons were fantastic for £325. I used to wear shoes like that a lot. And these trainers I thought were super as well. Love how bold they are, fun, love the style of them. This great sort of subtle crossbody. The yellow obviously less subtle, the black was more subtle. These Calibri flats, beautiful, love them. And I think that the slightly more casual nature of the Calibri worked very well in the flat. I actually think I prefer the flat to the heel, if I'm honest. And I really like the Calibri lights. These Fendi First sandals, very cute, very chic, always been a fan of those. Would I buy Fendi shoes? I'm not 100% sure. Not so much my style, I don't believe. I'm much more Sophia Webster, Versace, Louboutin, etc. But nice to have a look at nonetheless. This was a great kind of large peekaboo. I don't know if that was true croc or mock croc, but very nice nonetheless, in that sort of more subtle version of the Fendi Zucca. And a great little embossed, debossed, can't remember which way round it is, sunshine tote. Just quickly looking in the Marc Jacobs window, obviously inspired by the fact that Wicked for Good is coming out soon. You have some of the original Wizard of Oz pieces, which could be great to go and have a look at if you're a huge fan of the Wizard of Oz franchise. Quickly in Samsonite, saw these American Tourister wash bags. They were sort of a rubber texture. Thought they were really cool, well worth looking at. They were about £40.